We're about a week into the new season, and I'm excited. I've already got my necro up to legendary gem farming status, and so this time I just want to go over the build that's doing it for me. We're going to talk about the gear, we're going to talk about the skills, and we'll talk about gameplay. And then after that, we're going to do a Greater Rift 35 run because this is where you need to be in order to guarantee farming all your legendary gems up to the first tier, which is level 25. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I'm using the set that you get for completing the journey, first 4 chapters of the journey, which is Bones of Rathma. It's really cool. It's based on having a lot of minions, and you get to do some cool stuff as you get more of the set. So as far as the set is concerned, the 2-piece bonus gives your minions a chance to reduce the cooldown of Army of the Dead by 1 second each time they deal damage. And this becomes really important because you're going to use Army of the Dead to make all of the boss fights a lot easier because it's going to deal a ton of damage. The 4-piece bonus set, you gain 1% of damage reduction for 15 seconds each time one of your minions deal damage, max 50 stats. So in a perfect world, you're going to have 50% damage reduction from this set at all times. And you'll see that's really easy to attain. It actually is just part of what's going on. So really good way to give you 50% damage reduction and have it have its own flavor. 6-piece, each active skeletal mage increases the damage of your minions and Army of the Dead by 625% up to a max of 2500% damage increase. So to get the damage increase, you have to have at least 4 skeletal mages out. So you can see this is going to be based on pumping out a bunch of skeletal mages and letting all your minions do the work. Now, there is a ring that doubles the amount of skeletal mages that you cast and it makes them last longer. I have not been able to get that ring yet. I'm still farming for it. And so, this is closer to what you're going to have going for you as soon as you get the set. So, this is going to be something that a lot of people can use from just getting to level 70, getting this set either through your own power or help from friends and guildmates, and then you'll be able to crush as far as the greater rifts to get a lot of your gear and get your legendary gems up. So next thing I want to talk about is going to be the rest of the gear. So the rest of the gear doesn't matter for what this set's going to do right now, but this is what I've got, so I want to go over what I'm working with. You see it's not really optimized yet. So we got Crispin Sentence. Now you're going to deal 89% increased damage against slowed enemies or triple this bonus against enemies afflicted by any other type of control impairing effect. So that's going to be blind, it's going to be frozen, it's going to be stunned. The Enchantress is going to be really good for that because she charms things. So there's a lot of ways that you're going to be able to get a lot of extra damage because of this ring. Now I've got a belt. It just gives me really good stats, but Thunder Gods, if you're blocking, dodging, or being hit, it causes you to shoot out charged bolts. Now, this build, you don't get hit very much, so this belt's not doing me very much good besides stats, but that's cool because that's all I wanted it for was stat bonuses. I've got Litany of the Undaunted, again, for stat bonuses because it's the best ring I had stat-wise, and it's got a socket, so I was able to put a legendary gem in there, and that gave me extra damage. I've got Custarian's Risk Guards because it's the best bracers I've come across so far. And again, it's got crit chance on it, so that was good. And Traveler's Pledge. Now, this is a really good set for this build once I get the other ring, but for right now, I've just got the amulet. It has really high critical hit damage, so I always enjoy when I get a chance to play with it. So that's really cool. All right, as far as cube stuff, I've got Ring of Royal Grandeur. I've got that cube just because I was able to get the new ring. Golem Skin Breeches. Now with Golem Skin Breeches, the big thing is the 30% less damage. So the damage reduction is huge while the Golem's active. If you don't have these legs, you can achieve the same effect with Bone Armor because Bone Armor gives you 30% damage reduction as long as you hit at least 10 enemies with it within a minute. So that's what I was using for a long time until I got these pants. And then I've got Blood Brother because I don't have any other weapons yet cubed, but it does give me a chance to block attacks. And so that helps me out in case something does get past the army and beat things and hit me. I'll be right back in 1 second. All right, thanks for holding for me. Had someone at the door. Wife got a package, so let's get back to work. Uh, so I just went over the cube powers, and as you can see, everything's okay. 28% chance to crit, 305 crit damage. So everything's decent. So all your damage and everything that's coming to you is from the set. This is nowhere near optimized. It's just what I got. So next thing we want to talk about is going to be the skills and our passives. So Devouring Aura is here because you need a lot of essence to keep casting the skeletal mages, and so for right now, Devouring Aura is going to be the best way to go because you don't really have anything else to do with the corpses. And I forgot about one piece of gear. My bad. My bad. So we've got Relina's Shadow Hook. Now, this increases my damage, and so maximum essence is what I'm using on the Paragon tree right now. And Bone Spikes gives me 3 additional essence for each enemy hit. So again, that's there just to make sure I can pump out as many skeletal mages as possible. And the Requiem Sarah Plate. Now this is here to help me get more essence from Devouring Aura. And also, when I am in full, it just gives me the excess over 3 seconds. So that way, again, I've got the most essence that I can always have in order to cast a bunch of skeletal mages, because that's really all I'm doing. I'm casting a bunch of skeletal mages, and then I'm stunning them, so that way I get the most damage possible from my minions. That's it. That's the whole goal. All right, so Devouring Aura, we know what that's doing. Command Skeletons. I'm using Dark Mending as a way to heal myself in case I do get hit. And since they're doing a lot of damage, it heals surprisingly well, even though it's for 0.5%. And so I'm sure they got a handle on that when they were making this up. Next, we got Army of the Dead, Unconventional Warfare. I picked this because it deals the most damage, and it lasts 4 seconds. And this is mainly going to be for just really, really tough fights, elites, bosses, and champions. The cooldown reduction, you want to get that as high as possible, but this build is going to help you also get the cooldown done as quickly as possible. Just attack with your minions as much as you can. And it should be up for almost every unique fight, which is really cool. I've got Command Golem. I just replaced Bone Armor with this just because I have 30% damage reduction because of the Golem Skin Breeches. So this gave me more damage on the table. I picked Blood Golem in case if it was an emergency, so that way I could heal myself just a little bit. And so that's the reason that I picked this one, but any Golem would do, depending on what else you've got on your setup. And so we've got Bone Spikes, Sudden Impact. I got it for the stun because while they're stunned, they take increased damage. So that's it. And then we've also got Skeletal Archer. Now, Skeletal Archer, the reason I picked the Skeletal Archer is because it increases your attack speed. And a 30% increase in attack speed means that I can spam Bone Spikes more. And it also means that all my minions are going to attack faster as well. And so again, you want to keep skeleton mages up as much as possible, so that way you can always have your increased attack speed, and they're going to deal more damage too. So it all works really well together, and it's a really, really easy concept to handle. So I'm really excited that they gave this as the introductory 6-piece because it really gets you into the flavor of necro really, really fast. So that is it. That is the whole build. That is everything. I've got a nice potion to fear enemies in case I got to use it, and that's it. But gameplay wise, the only thing you do is you run around and you want to cast skeleton mages as soon as you see mobs fight, and as soon as the fight starts, command skeletons if you've got the essence to do it. You just hit bone spikes to get your essence back and also increase the damage of all your minions. And you know, if it's a boss, you hit Army of the Dead. Wash, rinse, repeat. And so that's going to get you through a lot of the lower level content and mid-range content as well. So that way you can farm up better gear and you can optimize all your stuff without too much trouble. So we're going to go through a Greater Rift right now. I'm going to do a GR35 because that is the magic number to make sure that you can always get all of your legendary gems up to level 25. So it's typically the first tier I want to get to whenever I start a season. So then I can farm everything else out with relative ease. So let's get to it. There we go. Fix my full screen. Let's do it. Nah, I don't have the money for that yet, but we'll have it soon. But yeah, this is all you do. This is it.
not. That is not possible. I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not. No. The grave beckons. That is not possible. I'm afraid not. That is not possible. I'm afraid not. The grave beckons.
The Rift Guardian was found.
Give it more time.
You have triumphed. Let's see what we can do.
I need to go back.
Well done, champ.
Well done.
All right, all right. So there you have it. I mean, that is it. So that's the build I'm using. Uh, Definitely take it for a spin if you haven't tried it before because it's really easy to use and it is very, very rewarding, especially for this early mid game that we've got going on. It'll get you a lot of levels. As you can see, I'm still getting a ton of Paragon levels every time I run Greater Rift 35. Of course, I could get more if I push higher, but at this point, that's really easy. So there's not much going on. But let me know what you think of this build. Let me know if it helps you out any because I'm excited about it. I love it, and I can't wait to get everything geared up so that way I can tackle some higher, greater rifts. But if you like this, throw me a like, subscribe to Twitch, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and be sure to share this with your friends so that way we can all get these levels out of the way in Diablo 3 and have these necros running wild. And so, again, I appreciate you coming by. Until next time, this is Lee Van Dam, and you guys take care, and God bless.